Big Cars, powering British challenge mixed martial arts throughout 2016. www.bigcars.co.uk.
Our next bout this evening is a bantamweight contest contested in the Amateur 135 pounds division. Introducing firstly, fighting out of the red corner, representing Team Norway, Markus Haegland. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, representing London Fight Factory, Dani Khan.
Referee Rich Mitchell about to get this one underway. Three-minute rounds in the amateur bantamweight division. Markus Haegland in the grey, taking on Dani Khan in the black with white trim.
Very tall figure, Dani Khan, for the bantamweight division.
Let's see if he can make that range count in the striking phase here. Tripped beautifully with that kick though from Haegland.
Yeah, what fantastic timing that was on that kick, and he's immediately jumping in on the armbar. Look at his willingness to go straight to the submission from an unorthodox position. This is a horrible cross grip on the feet he's got as well. Khan trying to clear it.
Absolutely vicious armbar attack there from Markus Haegland.
Yeah, Haegland wasting no time at all, jumping straight in, and this is a really nice kind of scissor grip. He's not necessarily going to have as much power though, because he's only got the one right leg to bite down on the posture on the back of the neck. And of course the fence as well is going to keep him compressed up. It's going to stop him extending that arm as easily as he might do otherwise.
Just pitter-pattering away, trying to distract Khan with those short chopping shots.
Khan is going to be trying to keep all his weight down. He's going to try and keep his man as stacked as possible. And as I say, the cage is a fantastic weapon to help Khan here.
And what can Khan do from this position to affect an escape, Josh? Does he essentially have to wait for Haegland to make a mistake?
Well, hang on a second, the angle's changing. He's going to try and slam his way out. He might just have freed the elbow. As soon as that elbow clears the thighs, he's safe from that submission, but slamming is one way. It's not the most advisable, but it's done the trick here. Haegland not wanting to give that arm up, though, attacking the forearm now. And he must know he needs to transition here.
Haegland like a dog with a bone on the arm, but finally Dani Khan able to escape.
Have to watch the up kicks. Haegland looking to get on the hip, maintain the range.
Jumping on the neck there was Dani Khan, and he's wrestled his man to his back.
Yeah, he's allowed him to easily re-establish close guard here, though. And we've already seen how quickly this young Norwegian will attack off his back. So, I mean, that armbar setup was nowhere near anything, and he jumped over the guard and clambered and pulled his way into position. Very opportunistic.
Pure grit and determination from the young man from Team Norway, and again
gets the hips
the
out.
arm.
Yeah, I mean, he spun nicely, got the hips out, but just not enough. Good guard recovery, though.
Already that leg snaking its way up.
Yeah, he's looking again to create the space. And you can see if Khan keeps that left arm all the way down on that bicep, it's in danger every time the hips come out. Now he's looking to lock up both shoulders.
Great stuff here from Markus Haegland.
Oh, he works his way out again. He's going to run out of time, unfortunately. Wow, what a tough round to score, you know. I got to say, I would almost give it to Haegland just for relentless attacking.
I tend to agree with you there, Josh. I mean, it looked like he was possibly going to crank the shoulder at the very end of that round.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can switch. You get the angle off. You can switch to an inside shoulder crank off that armbar. It's a very nice chain submission together. But yeah, got to say, you know, that opening kick. I mean, what you didn't see before the kick that took the standing leg away was a beautiful check on the left-hand side as well. So clearly, this kid has some kickboxing skills to go with the offensive ground game.
If there's one thing we can say about Norwegian fighters historically in MMA is they've always been rounded. They've always had the submission wrestling prowess, and there's been some great Thai-style boxers coming out of Norway as well. You really look at guys like Joachim Hansen, really is the definition of a tough Norwegian fighter with a rounded skill set, and we do see that very often from these Norwegian amateurs.
Well, I think Khan wanted to keep this one on the feet early. Let's see if he can. I mean, you know, I want to see a bit more of this kickboxing from Haegland.
Khan trying to make that length count.
Yeah, if he can manage the distance a little bit better, he should be right. But it's such a darting in and out style from Haegland, sorry.
Able to cover that cage very quickly. Here's the young Norwegian Haegland. First time, I believe, here on BCMMA. Always a strong Scandinavian contingent on these shows. Oh, it's a nice spearing right hand there from Dani Khan.
Yeah, and that's a bit better. You could see there that although Haegland threw a punch at the same time, the range was really just going the way of Khan. And if he can stay on the outside, that's the kind of thing he can do relentlessly here.
Again, covering distance. Punch is not connecting cleanly though from Haegland. And you can see he's perhaps got Khan wary now.
Well, he's certainly the more active of the two fighters. Khan not throwing all that often. Really trying to counter-strike a bit more here. I've got to say, I'm surprised that Haegland hasn't tried to take this to the ground again. He would definitely seem to be the more proficient of the two when it hits the mat.
Well, you have to wonder at the same time, Josh, that how much did that flurry of activity in the first round take out of him? He was really cranking the arm at one point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it looked like it was a fairly static position, but he's contracting everything the whole time, and a nice trip, but not able to hold on to his man. And you can see that's the downside of scoring a takedown and allowing that space to develop. You just, you know, your man jumps straight back up to his feet.
He's been throwing that wide overhand right a few times. He really needs to be careful with that one as he gets a little tighter and those shots becoming a little bit more sloppy, because Dani Khan can counter with a nice straight if he gets the timing right.
Yeah, no man has really marched the other towards the fence yet. So, although I've got to say, Khan's had quite good control of the center of the cage in this second round. Finding the distance a bit better now with those strikes as we see another jab land. Haegland really does have to wade in, doesn't he, just to try and get inside that reach.
Throwing the big Chuck Liddell overhand was Haegland there, but it's Khan landing the cleaner strikes of the two.
Yeah, it's a much better round for Dani Khan. He's been able to get his range working a little bit. Been a lot of activity from Haegland, but strikes probably just going the way of Dani Khan in that one. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the judges saw this as one round apiece now.
And it certainly was Dani Khan dictating the pace there, kept his man at range, and did a good job with those long piercing shots. And the key point, Josh, really is that he didn't go to the ground with Markus Haegland, which is where Haegland won the first round.
Yeah, he was able to pop straight back up off that takedown attempt, and that was more just Haegland not able to control his man on the way down. It's one thing to put the guy there, you got to keep him, and you know that's hard enough to do with a well-contacted takedown, let alone one where you allow space to develop in the process of going to the mat.
Now we'll head into the third and final round again here at BCMMA 14. Do check out our sponsors making this show possible, www.bigcars.co.uk, powering BCMMA. Third and final round. Dani Khan taking the center of the cage, looking to size his man up. Is Khan perhaps wary of throwing the leg kicks now, Josh, having seen what
perhaps
Haegland
a little
did on
bit.
the ground?
He's mimicked a couple of times for that uppercut to say, you know what, you want to close the distance and get in on me, you're going to meet one of these, especially as you wade over the top with those overhand rights.
Well, we talked earlier about him getting caught with those straight counter punches, and that's exactly what happened there. Just not able to get close enough.
Khan throwing a couple of feints now. Haegland closing the distance again, that really windmilling overhand right. And I think some of the wind is perhaps going out of Markus Haegland here.
He hasn't really connected with that right hand once yet. More danger of giving Dani Khan a cold with it than anything else so far. This Khan definitely the more accurate striker of the two. And this one could all come down to whether Markus Haegland can effect another takedown in this third and final frame.
Yeah, switching his stance up now. Oh, and it's a good switch double, gets his man to the ground. Can he keep him there though? Khan doing a good job of posting, and you see how quickly Haegland stripped that post away. Good awareness from the Norwegian, but he's got to watch the DAS here.
Good hustle from Dani Khan. He's not under the throat though, and Haegland's going to power his way out.
No, good defense from Haegland. He's got to keep connecting here though, otherwise Khan's just going to stand back up.
And already Haegland going for the armbar.
Again, and Khan is not taking that arm away, left it till the very last minute. If I was Dani Khan, I'd stand back up here. I mean, he's looking for a stack pass. And he's doing a good job of turning away here. Haegland's going to be pushing on the hip, trying to Granby roll his legs back over the top. Good work from Dani Khan to earn a very solid side control here. And you know what? He can just burn the time down now. He doesn't have to rush. He can maintain this position. And just keep notching up those points on the judges' scorecards.
Well, we've talked about it so many times, Josh, in these amateur contests. Just 3 minutes per round, and bossing the clock really can work wonders. That's exactly what Dani Khan's doing here.
Looking to move towards north-south now. And a nice mount from Dani Khan. Very high up. He's allowed a bit of a backdoor escape here. And Robertson is, Haegland's got a chance to reverse.
Fantastic stuff, and the crowd here at Charter Hall showing their appreciation.
Yeah, Khan just got a little bit high on that mount. Didn't quite keep everything tucked. It's hard to do. You've got the limb length that he's got.
Final 10 seconds of the round and the fight. Is someone going to put a stamp on this contest? Both men sharing a nod of appreciation for a hard and well-fought fight there, Josh.
Yeah, it was a good scrap. I think they both had good moments, but you got to say Dani Khan, you know, he turned it up a bit in that third round, and you just saw the wind dropping out of Markus Haegland. And And I think overall the judges are probably going to go 2 rounds to 1 to Dani Khan, the second and the third. But, you know, take nothing away from the young Norwegian. Started very brightly, just faded a bit as the fight went on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, our judges score this bout in favour of Markus Haegland.